Illinois. Here's the story with Northwestern. It was not a great year for the Wildcats last year. A lot of turnover. Lost their top 3 scorers from last season, but really excited about the recruiting class, including Robbie Barron, one of the most highly touted recruits in Northwestern history. The challenge is how to get the offense to the level where the defense was a year ago. They were outstanding on that end of the court. And here to answer that question and more, head coach Chris Collins, along with Anthony Gaines and A.J. Turner. Guys, let's talk about the offensive end first, because you clearly have to get better there. How do you get to the level that I know you need to be at to compete?
Well, I think one of the things we've tried to address with our new players, which we have a lot of them, is more playmaking. You know, when you play in the Big Ten, the defenses are so good, and you try to run good offense, but a lot of times it gets taken away, and then you have to have guys then that can create offense. So we've tried to do a lot of work in the offseason, guys doing more off the dribble, creating offense for each other, and then getting a lot of shooting in. I mean, you look at a lot of times, they always say it's a make or miss game. And when we do get those open shots, we have to be a lot more efficient putting the ball in the basket.
Anthony, that's an area that comes to mind for you, that shooting hasn't been your greatest strength offensively. You bring a lot of other things to the table. How do you become a better shooter?
I think this offseason I've worked on it a lot. With my injury and not being able to play as much, it's given me more of an opportunity to work on my shot. A lot of form shooting, ball handling, things like that. So this summer was I spent a lot of time just working on that. So hopefully, coming into the season, I can make that impact and, space the floor, which will, be easier for us to make plays.
You mentioned your injury. Both of you guys sat out the European trip, so I want to get updates from each one of you. Anthony, why don't you start, and then AJ, just bring us up to date on where you are health-wise.
Right now I'm healthy. I've been practicing for the last 2 weeks now. Feeling good, getting better, and, back to speed every practice. So I'm looking to have a great year this year.
How about for you, AJ?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm back healthy. I'm just wearing a boot right now for precautionary reasons. But yeah, the ankle's feeling good, and I'm ready to get back out there.
You had a weird season last year in that you were asked to play out of position quite a bit because you guys didn't have a true point guard. How do you see your role now that you've recruited point guards into this system? How do you see your role changing this year?
Yeah, so like you said, last year I was mainly a point guard. I think this year we have the Boo, we have Greer, we have other guys that can handle the ball. But I think really all of us will play that role well. I think I'll be able to run out on the wing a little bit more as well with Anthony. And, but I think if guys get it off the backboard, we can push it. So we have a pretty versatile group.
Give us a sense for that point guard spot. It was an Achilles heel last year, no doubt. In some senses, forces beyond your control. Yeah. So how does it look this year?
I feel good about, we have a number of guys that can handle the ball. I think in AJ's case, just him doing that last year made him a better player. Although it took away maybe some of his ability to shoot and score and playing off the ball, we know he can do that. High on Boo Buie, a freshman who's coming in. I think he can make plays. Ryan Greer has had a great offseason for us. And Pat Spencer, guys, a grad transfer we brought in. All guys, as well as Anthony Gaines. I think guys that can handle the ball, make plays. And I think it'll be still by committee this year, based on lineups and who's in the game at certain times.
I want to ask you about Pat Spencer. It is one of the most fascinating stories. We're seeing the Pat Spencer highlights right now. They're a little unconventional. This isn't normally what you see when you talk about a grad transfer. He was, not just a good lacrosse player. This was far and away the best lacrosse player in the country. He's an outstanding high school basketball player as well, but I think this raised some eyebrows, frankly, across the country. And people said, really? They're bringing in a lacrosse player to play in the Big Ten? So give us a sense for his game. What does he bring?
Well, first of all, he can play, and it's not a gimmick act. It's not a circus. Like, he's serious about basketball. It's been a passion of his whole life. Just so happens when you're the best in the world, it's something else. You kind of pursue that for a while. And he's really hungry about proving that he can play at the highest level. He's a terrific athlete. He's a tough-minded competitor. And, when you're the best in the country at something, there's an attitude you carry. And judging by the fact that we have 8 freshmen and sophomores, just his toughness, his competitiveness, his leadership in our locker room is going to be really good for our team. And he's going to help us, and we're excited to have him.
AJ, Anthony, I'm interested in your guys' takes on this.
I was very surprised this summer when we were recruiting him, actually. How I found out about it was the other lacrosse kids at our school. They were asking me, oh, you're recruiting Pat Spencer, and at the time, I didn't know anything about him. So, when I heard we got a lacrosse player, I was, a little bit nervous, especially in a conference like this. But when we first saw him this summer, I was really surprised. He's gonna, like Coach said, he's very competitive. He's a very smart player. He's a great playmaker, and he's very athletic. And I think he's a good talent for us.
AJ?
Yeah, I would say he's a pleasant surprise for sure. When I found out that he committed, the first thing I did was go to YouTube and look up his highlights, and the first thing that came up were the lacrosse highlights. And I was super impressed by his skills there. And I think I read a couple articles that said he was like the LeBron James of lacrosse. And I think in terms of that, the IQ, like the passing, that translates to basketball. And like Coach said, just the mentality that he has, being the best lacrosse player, that definitely translates to basketball as well. So I'm definitely excited to play with him.
You brought in some freshmen who were really highly touted last year. Miller Kopp ended up being a fairly big contributor for you. Pete Nance got sick and was never quite able to become the player I know you had hoped you would be. What kind of steps have those guys taken?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress of both of those guys. I mean, we recruited those guys with the idea that they would be centerpieces of future Northwestern teams, and I feel really good about that. In Miller's case, I thought he had a typical freshman year, showed signs, had some struggles, kind of figured it out along the way. He's had a great offseason. His body looks good. He's confident. And Pete's healthy. Anytime, I think he lost 12 games due to mono last year, lost a lot of weight, but he's 6'10 and a half, 6'11", athletic, can shoot it, has gained about 25 pounds of muscle. So, we're counting on both of those guys to be key contributors for us this year.
How about the freshmen?
Yeah, great group of guys. Ryan Young was a big guy we recruited last year who redshirted. I think he's going to really surprise with what he brings. And, we need Boo Buie to step in as a guard, something we need, a creator, a breakdown guy who can make plays. Robbie Barron, I think, is going to have an outstanding career. Very versatile, 6'9", does a little bit of everything. And Jared Jones, really promising big man out of Georgia. So really excited about our young guys. And we're going to be counting on these two guys. They're really the two veterans. And then we got all new guys. And so I'm really excited to see what we can make of this group. I think the future looks really good. And going in the gauntlet of the Big Ten, though, it's not easy. And these guys are going to have their work cut out for them.
Anxious to see how it all comes together. Thanks for your time, Chris Collins, Anthony Gaines, AJ Turner. Have a great year, guys.
Thank you.